Okay, so today we're diving into something super important for any school or university, data backup.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine, like all those research papers, student records, grant proposals, like everything just poof, gone
Yeah.
because of like a ransomware attack?
Oh, it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
And it's something that we see more and more. Cyber criminals are targeting especially the education sector.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We've seen ransom demands that have reached as high as like $30 million.
$30 million. That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
That's like, I mean, that could be a whole new library, scholarships. You know, it's just, that really shows how big of a problem it is
Absolutely.
to the school and the community.
And it's not just the financial cost.
Right.
Right. Imagine the disruption to the students.
Oh, yeah.
Can't access their grades, their coursework, researchers who lose years of data.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that.
The administration's got to rebuild everything from scratch. It's a ripple effect. It could be felt for years.
Like pulling the rug out from under the whole community. So how can schools avoid this?
Well, the first step, of course, is having a good, solid data backup plan.
Right.
But, IT departments, they're already stretched thin.
Oh, for sure.
So the solution can't be some complicated new system
Right.
that needs a whole new team to manage it. It has to be simple.
So simple enough that even the principal could do a basic backup.
That's the goal.
Okay.
And it also has to be powerful enough to handle all the different types of data.
Oh, yeah.
Student information, financial records, research databases, even the school's website.
That's a lot. It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
It is.
But on top of all that, there's still the threat of ransomware. Like we hear about these hackers holding data hostage all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So how does a backup solution actually protect against that?
Well, traditional backup is a good first step, but it's not enough anymore.
Okay.
Ransomware is just too advanced now. Hackers are constantly finding new ways to get into systems and encrypt data. So we have to start thinking about more advanced things, like immutable snapshots and air gapping.
Okay. I'm going to need you to explain those like I'm 5.
Okay, sure. So imagine you're taking a picture of your data at a specific moment.
Okay.
That picture, that's an immutable snapshot.
Okay.
It can't be changed or deleted, even if hackers get in.
Oh, so it's like a safe haven for your data, no matter what happens to the original.
Exactly. Now, air gapping takes that a step further.
Okay.
It physically isolates your backup data from the network.
Okay.
It's like a separate, secure vault for your data.
So even if hackers get into the main network, they can't touch that data.
Right, because it's completely offline.
So it's like a backup escape route for your data.
Exactly. And this is where the concept of a unified solution comes in.
Okay.
Instead of having all these separate systems for backup, disaster recovery, and security,
Yeah.
which can be really hard to manage, a unified solution brings it all together.
Ah, okay. So it's like a one-stop shop.
Exactly.
But wouldn't something like that be really expensive? Like, how could a school afford that?
That's a common misconception. A unified solution might seem like a bigger investment up front, but in the long run, it can actually save money
Oh, good.
because they're streamlining everything.
Right.
You don't need as many systems, you don't need as many licenses, and you're minimizing the risk of losing data, which can be very costly.
So it's not just about protecting data. It's about making smart financial decisions, too.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say a school is thinking about getting a unified solution. What are like the non-negotiables? What are the things they absolutely have to have?
Well, first and foremost, it has to be compatible.
Okay, yeah.
It needs to work with all the different systems and software that the school's using.
You don't want to be trying to like jam a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly.
Okay.
And of course, data security has to be top-notch.
Of course, yeah.
Strong encryption, good anti-ransomware measures, and strict access controls. You've got to protect that sensitive data.
Like student data, financials, research, all that.
Everything.
Okay.
And then scalability is really important too.
Okay.
The solution needs to be able to grow with the school.
Right.
Whether it's a small elementary school or a large university, it needs to be able to handle the load.
So like pick the right size school bus, so to speak.
Exactly.
Okay, so compatibility, security, scalability, all super important.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine switching to a whole new system could be kind of daunting,
It can be.
especially for a school that might not have a ton of IT support. So Any advice on how to make that transition a little easier?
Yeah, absolutely. The key is to start by really taking stock of what you've got.
Okay.
What data do you have? Where is it stored? How often does it change?
So like taking inventory before you move to a new house.
Exactly. And then you need to figure out your recovery objectives.
Okay.
How much downtime can you handle if something goes wrong? How quickly do you need to get that data back?
Okay.
These are the questions you have to ask.
Right. So you're not just backing up everything. You're prioritizing what's most important.
Exactly. And when you're looking at different solutions, you need to make sure they're flexible and scalable, something that can grow with your school.
So you don't outgrow it right away.
Right. And, even with careful planning, it can still be a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to ask for help. There are companies out there that specialize in this kind of thing.
Oh.
Like us at Stonefly,
Yeah.
we help schools implement unified data backup solutions all the time.
Oh, that's great.
And we understand the challenges that schools face.
Right.
So we can help guide you through the whole process.
So it's like having an expert Sherpa guiding you up the mountain. Okay, so now I have to ask, why Stonefly? What makes your solutions different?
Well, we're passionate about giving schools the tools they need to thrive in this digital world. We offer a range of unified data backup and disaster recovery appliances, specifically designed for schools.
Okay.
They're simple, they're secure, and they're scalable. Perfect for any size school.
Okay.
And we understand that schools have, tight budgets.
Yeah.
So our solutions are designed to be cost-effective and easy to use and very robust.
And we don't just give you the technology and say, see ya later.
Yeah.
We provide support and expertise
Absolutely.
to help you make sure everything is working the way it should.
Right.
We're committed to building a long-term relationship with our clients, making sure their data is safe, not just today, but for years to come.
That's right.
And if anybody wants to learn more about our appliances, you can find us at www.stonefly.com, or you can email us at sales@stonefly.com.
Now let's dive a little deeper into some of the specific challenges that schools face with data backup. One of the biggest challenges is the sheer variety of data that schools have to protect.
Right.
You've got student records, financial information, research data, intellectual property, and then even classroom photos and videos.
Oh, yeah, all the memories.
All the memories. Right. And the challenge is finding a solution that can handle all of those different types of data well. You don't want a different system for every single thing.
No, because then you have to manage all those systems.
Yeah.
And it's so much more room for something to go wrong.
Yeah, it gets really complicated.
Yeah.
A unified solution, though, can put it all together.
Okay.
One platform for all your backup and recovery.
Okay, so that streamlines things.
Exactly. And it makes sure all your data is protected the same way.
So how does that actually work? What makes it so effective?
Well, one key part is hybrid storage. So
Oh.
that's where you combine high-performance storage that's on-site in the school
Mm-hmm.
for the data that needs to be accessed quickly. And then you use more affordable cloud storage for stuff that's not used as often.
Like archives and things.
Exactly, like archives.
Okay.
So you're not only saving money on storage, you're also increasing security.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, that sensitive data can stay on site, right?
Yeah.
Under tight control, and the less critical stuff can go to the cloud.
Okay. That makes sense.
And this also ties into those advanced security measures we talked about.
Right. The immutable snapshots and the air gapping.
Right. Those are key parts of a unified solution.
So let's break those down a little bit more. How do those actually protect against ransomware?
Okay, so remember those immutable snapshots are like taking pictures of your data?
Mm-hmm.
But they're read-only copies. They're locked. Nobody can change them. Not even hackers.
Oh, so even if the main data gets encrypted, you still have those safe copies.
Exactly. It's like a rewind button.
Oh, okay.
And then air gapping takes it even further
Okay.
by physically disconnecting that backup data from the network.
So it's like a separate bunker for your data.
Yes. Even if hackers get into the main network, they can't touch the air-gapped data.
Okay, that's pretty reassuring. But all of this sounds like a lot to manage.
I understand. That's why our unified solutions at Stonefly are designed to be simple.
Okay.
We make it easy for schools to set up these advanced features.
Oh, yeah?
You don't need a whole team of security experts.
You don't need to be a tech wizard to use it.
No, not at all. So let's say a school is ready to go for it, to invest in a unified solution.
Mm-hmm.
What should they do? What are the first steps?
Yeah. What advice would you give them?
Well, like we said before, the first step is to take stock of your data.
Right. The inventory.
Right. How much is there? What kind is it? How fast is it growing?
Right.
Then Figure out those recovery objectives,
Mm-hmm.
how much downtime is acceptable, how fast you need to restore things.
Okay.
Those will help you choose the right backup and recovery strategy.
So it's about having a plan.
Yes, definitely. And when you're looking at different solutions, keep in mind things like compatibility, security, and how easy it is to use. Find something that fits your needs and your budget.
Right, because no two schools are exactly alike.
Right. And I know even with good planning, this can be a big change.
Oh, yeah, it could be a little scary.
But remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Okay, good point.
There are companies, like us at Stonefly, that can help you through the whole process.
Like having an expert on your team.
Exactly. We're here to make it as easy as possible.
So you can focus on what's really important, educating students.
Exactly.
That's great. So we've talked about the technical side of things a lot,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to remember the human element here, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Why should we, as a society, care about data backup in schools?
Because data backup isn't just about files, it's about protecting the future.
Yeah.
It's about protecting the potential of every student, every teacher.
Yeah.
Think about it. What would happen if a school lost all its records?
Oh, that's a scary thought.
It's devastating.
Yeah?
It would affect students applying to college, getting scholarships. It could affect their whole future.
Right, like erasing a part of their history.
Exactly. And it's not just about the individuals.
Right.
Schools are doing so much research,
Yeah.
research that could lead to breakthroughs in all sorts of fields.
In medicine, technology, all kinds of things.
And losing that data would be a setback for everyone,
For the whole world.
for the whole world.
So this is bigger than just one school or one IT department.
Absolutely. Data backup is a global issue.
It's about protecting the past, the present, and the future.
Exactly. It's making sure that knowledge and potential are protected.
Okay, so let's get back to some of the more specific features that schools should look for in a solution.
Okay. One important thing is centralized management.
Okay?
Being able to see everything, all your backups, from one place,
Okay, that makes sense.
whether the data is on site, in the cloud, or both.
So you can keep an eye on everything.
Exactly. And then, of course, you want things like automatic backups, data deduplication, flexible recovery.
To make things easier.
Yes, to make it easy and efficient and
Mhm.
reliable. And security, of course, is paramount. You need good encryption, immutability, air gapping, multi-factor authentication.
So all those layers of protection we talked about.
Right. You want to make sure your data is safe from all kinds of threats.
Right. So what about some of the newer trends? What should schools be thinking about for the future?
Well, one big trend is cloud-based backups.
Okay.
The cloud is really appealing because it's scalable, affordable, and easy to access.
Yeah, you can get to it from anywhere.
Exactly. But security is still a big concern for some people.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that.
So it's important to choose a provider that takes security seriously.
Okay, so do your research.
Exactly. Look for things like encryption, good access controls, compliance with all the standards. And another trend is using AI.
Artificial intelligence. For data backup.
Yeah, for data backup. AI can automate tasks, find problems, optimize things.
So you're even smarter.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's still a pretty new area, but it has a lot of potential.
It's amazing how technology keeps changing things. It is.
So how does Stonefly fit into all of this?
Well, we're always innovating.
Okay.
We have cloud-based solutions,
Yeah.
and we're looking into AI and all those new technologies.
Yeah.
We want to give schools the best, most secure, and most cost-effective solutions.
Great. And if anybody wants to learn more about that, you can visit our website, www.stonefly.com.
Or you can email us at sales@stonefly.com.
Right. And now let's wrap things up with some final thoughts on data backup in education. Okay, so we've talked about a lot. Ransomware, the challenges schools are facing, unified solutions, all kinds of things. But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier about the human element of all of this. Like, why should we care about data backup in schools beyond just the technical stuff? Because it's about more than just files and folders.
Right.
It's about, protecting knowledge, protecting learning. It's about every student, every teacher.
Yeah.
Imagine what would happen if a school lost all its records.
Like everything.
Grades, transcripts, financial aid, all of it.
Oh, wow. That would be awful.
It would be devastating for the whole community, really.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't just be a short-term problem either.
Right.
Students wouldn't be able to apply to college, get scholarships, prove their education.
Like a part of their life would be gone.
Exactly. And then think about all the research that schools are doing.
Oh, yeah.
Research that could lead to amazing discoveries.
Right, in all sorts of fields.
And to lose that data, that would be a setback for everyone.
Yeah.
For the whole world, really.
So it's a much bigger issue than we might realize at first.
It is. Data backup is about protecting the past, the present, and the future.
And protecting those stories, those achievements.
Exactly.
So if someone is listening to this and they want a good solution, a reliable solution to protect their school's data, what should they do?
Well, I mean, we at Stonefly, we offer a whole range of solutions.
Yeah.
Unified data backup and disaster recovery appliances. Designed specifically for schools.
Right.
We know that schools have unique needs, and they often have tight budgets, so our solutions are designed to be really cost-effective,
Okay.
easy to use, and very robust.
And like we said earlier, we don't just throw the technology at you and disappear.
Oh, no.
We are there to support you, to make sure you know how to use everything and that everything is working properly.
Absolutely.
We want to be a partner, not just a vendor.
Long-term relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more, you can visit our website, www.stonefly.com.
Or email us.
Or email us at sales@stonefly.com.
Yeah. Data backup really is an act of hope. It's about believing in the power of education and protecting that power.
Protecting that potential.
Exactly.
So as we finish up here, I want to encourage everyone listening to think about the importance of data backup.
Yeah.
Not just in schools, but everywhere.
In your own life.
Your community, your work, your family.
It's about protecting those stories, those memories.
Yeah, because data is more than just ones and zeros.
It is. It's about people.
It's about people. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into data backup for education.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, knowledge is power, so protect it. And keep diving deep.
Keep learning.
Keep learning. For more information about our solutions, which are perfect for educational institutions, visit www.stonefly.com or contact us at sales@stonefly.com. We're here to help you protect what matters most,